What's up, guys? Welcome back to Among the Fence. Today we're going to be checking out another requested album, Jinjer's Micro. So there are two parts to this concept album. There's Micro and there's Macro. And Micro being the EP, which came out at the beginning of 2019, is the one I'm reviewing because it was first. The band Jinjer comes from Ukraine. They started their band in 2009, but the band says that they didn't actually start until 2010 when their main singer now ended up joining, and I believe another guitar player ended up joining. So 2009, 2010, and they also have 3 studio albums, but there's a 4th one that's counted as being remastered for some reason on Wikipedia, but on Spotify I can only find 3, so they have 3 studio albums. I don't really know a whole lot about Jinjer. I've never really listened to them. I've heard people talk about them, and that's about it. I know that they're a progressive metal band. I know that they're kind of djenty in their sound. And I know that they have a female vocalist. That was about it before I started listening to this album. And knowing that they're a Djent style band, and if you don't know what Djent is, it's an onomatopoeia for the noise that the guitar tone makes. It's just very djent, just very bass driven. And after saying that, I wasn't really prepared for how djenty this album really was. It's very, very, very djenty all the way through. And being that it's djenty, there's a very just bassy, prominent feel to the whole album. And I don't mean just like on a bass instrument, the bass guitar. I mean just the whole sound, especially like I said on the guitar. And I wasn't really sure what to expect from the vocalist Tatiana, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her last name, but she is absolutely phenomenal. Her growls and roars are better than some of the male vocalists that are out there, but also being a female, she has the ability to pull off just some amazingly crystal clear cleans as well. Especially on songs like Teacher, which to me was the most musically dynamic and intriguing song on the whole EP. Guitar work is very complex and constantly changing, especially on the verses. And that's not to say that this is the only song it does it on, but on Teacher, it just seemed to stand out just a little bit more for me. And the chorus on the song is just completely captivating. Tatiana also shows off how talented she is by going through a multitude of vocal ranges, especially on the song like Dreadful Moments. And that song also has very unique musical choices. It kind of, to me, it felt like it ventured into like Dream Theater territory at times. I'd say the main showcases on this album are definitely the vocals and the story. The lyrics in this are very, they're great. It's full of emotion. It's full of passion. On the song Dreadful Moments, it's about an abusive father beating his daughter and how the daughter wants people to help but nobody understands. It really just gets down into your heart. I enjoy this album, but I didn't love it. And I think the reason why is because just a little bit too djenty for me, which is kind of dumb because that's what genre it's in. But I felt like it just relied on that sound just a little bit too much. The guitar work, like I said, was just very complex and very creative, and it's all over the place, but it doesn't really pop out of the mix, and you don't really hear it and you don't really appreciate it all that much, is because it's every single song you hear is just dent, 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 and it's just becomes the same sound on your ears, and it takes away from the creativity and the uniqueness of it. And again, I realize that's what Djent is, but I've also heard Animals, Leaders, and Periphery, and they are able to do the same style that Jinjer does, but they're able to make the guitar tone pop out a little bit more and make it just sound a little bit more unique song to song even. Another thing that wasn't really very pleasing to my ears that I'm probably going to offend a lot of people with is the snare on this EP. It just reminded me so much of Metallica's Saint Anger. And it's not nearly as bad as that. I'm not saying that, but it's just so much in the front of the entire mix, and it's so harsh. You constantly hear like this pat, 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 pat. And sometimes it's all I could hear. So with all that said, I gotta give Jinjer's EP Micro a 3 out of 5. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Honestly, I think it was probably the music that kind of turned me off the most, just because the vocals were just so great, especially since I didn't really know what to expect from a female vocalist, especially in this genre, but I mean, she killed it. This EP also has a great narrative to it, and the final song, Perennial, is a instrumental that brings the whole thing to a conclusion beautifully. But I want to know what you guys think. If you've listened to Jinjer's Micro before, go ahead and leave a comment below. It's an EP, so I feel like a lot of people might have missed out on this one. So if you haven't listened to it, go ahead and give it a listen and let me know what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my reviews, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on an upload. And if you have a song or album you want me to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is, and I'll make it happen for you. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.
I was strong.